Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Victory Reverse Mortgage. I'm Benny Victory. Today is December 14th, Wednesday. We're 14 days into my challenge of making one video per day in the month of December relating to reverse mortgages. And today I was going to talk about a different topic, one that I started a few days ago, and it had to talk about the biggest four objections or concerns that I meet people with when they're talking about getting a reverse mortgage. And I was going to go deeper into one of these topics, but it also coincides the month of December with the continuing education that I have to complete in order to renew my MLO license, which is a mortgage loan originator license. And because I watch YouTube videos, and in fact I emphasize on watching a lot of reverse mortgage YouTube videos. As you can imagine, it relates to what I do exclusively for seniors, but I watch it in particular because of the amount of misinformation that I see being peddled. And because of that, and because of the fact that I'm in the process of continuing my 8 hours of continuing education, I felt that I should talk about this topic more than picking up where I left off in the other video. And the reason I think it's really important, and in a previous video I've touched about this, and I think it's really worth mentioning, and I may even have to do a few videos on this topic, because as it stands right now, YouTube is like the Wild West. Anybody can declare anything that they want. They could represent themselves as anything they want to be, and people that I see routinely be very negative towards the reverse mortgage, then I start reading up about their channel or their self-description of who they are, even on their own channel. I see no certification, I see no education, I see no licensing, I don't see any level of expertise, I don't see how what they're talking about, which has to do with reverse mortgages in particular, which is even a sub-branch of the traditional mortgage and something more specific. I don't see in any way how they're qualified to even speak on the subject, let alone have such a negative connotation and such a negative impression. And that is what I wanted to talk about, because if you watch any of the videos that I've done, and if you watch the level of depth that I try to go into, the different perspectives that I try to bring into the conversation, and for the senior or their advisors or their adult children to consider when making a decision about whether a reverse mortgage is a good and prudent move for their retirement, you will quickly see that on a given topic, depending on its complexity and its importance and what I believe its relevancy to your retirement, I do as much as 3 or 4 videos on the one topic from every possible angle that I could think of. And that's why several of my videos, in fact, have come into an hour long. And an hour long video for me to stand here and discuss with you and go over with you is not an easy task, because like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I do these videos in one take. There is no script, and I have an outline in my mind of the points that I think are relevant and important and really something that the senior needs to consider and their advisor should contemplate having the conversation with. But other than that, it's pretty much get in front of the camera and make sure that I discuss the points that I feel are the most important. And that's why some of these videos go so deep and cover so many topics and are an hour long. But when I see somebody else do a video and their entire video discussion has to do with something as ridiculous and as, to me, absurd as who is now pitching reverse mortgages, and that this person who's making the commentary was heartbroken that Henry Winkler, the Fonz, is now peddling reverse mortgages, and that Tom Selleck because he's the spokesperson for AAG, the AAG is doing reverse mortgages and they're the number one company. The connections that they make, the conclusions that they come up with, the absurdity of the statements that they make my head spin. Because I'm thinking this person is portraying themselves in some way as somehow an expert, as someone that you should listen to as a viewer and take what they're saying as credible. But there's no credibility to anything that they're saying. They're just merely identifying the fact that an actor that is someone that you associate with movies that they've done or TV shows that they've done at some point in their past is now become a spokesperson for a product, and based on that person's portrayal, you should then make the next logical connection that reverse mortgages are bad for you. But at no point do I see this person who's making this assumption and allegation and attacking the reverse mortgage setting up and saying, well, listen, by the way, I failed to disclose the fact that FHA loans, which are reverse mortgages, are part of the federal government and being regulated since 1988 for the past 34 years by the Housing and Urban Development. At no point do I see them discussing the fact that in the fiscal year 2022, from October to September, that 64,000 seniors chose to voluntarily look at getting a reverse mortgage to help them access a portion of their retirement supplemented through housing wealth. At no point do I see this person, who I have no idea what his licensing, what his education, what his ability, or how many loans he's done, to come out and say, by the way, there is a use for these products, and if you understand how they work, and if you work with a professional, then it could be something really good. Because this person is not interested in educating. This person is not educated in the subject. They're not informed on the subject. They're not even licensed to speak on the subject. And the reason I'm getting on my soapbox today is not because I do reverse mortgages and I'm saying I'm the only one that should talk about reverse mortgages. If you're going to be intelligently speaking on a subject, then you need to understand the subject. You need to understand the subject matter. And if you're going to make an assumption, if you're going to make an assertion, if you're going to say something that you expect other people to take as the gospel, then you should have the educational background. You should have the educational information, the needed licensing. When I say don't rely on what I say and rely on what the experts are saying, I'm not saying because I say so. Well, if you're really interested in reading about reverse mortgages and you want to learn about them, this is Wade Pfau. He's a certified financial analyst. He has a PhD from Princeton in economics, and he's an RICP, which is a retirement income certified professional, given by the academy that provides most education to the certified financial analyst. Read some of these books. Read some of the books that are done by Don Graves, which has to do with the reverse mortgages. Here is a stack of articles and booklets and information that I routinely read on a continuous basis all year long, so that I am at the top of my game, so that when I meet with a financial advisor, when I talk to an estate planning attorney, I'm able to sit down and have an intelligent conversation about why it's a good move for their client. And again, it's not a perfect move for everybody. Just because I do it and I do it exclusively, I don't think everybody should get it. There are instances that I don't think a reverse mortgage is suitable for the person. But that comes from a place of being educated, being someone who cares about doing something. I'm not doing it for the sake of how many views I get, because if you look at my other videos, as of this date that I'm doing this video, I only have like 14 subscribers, and I think 8 of them are family members. So the fact that I'm doing these videos is not because I am expecting 3 million views and I have 200,000 followers. These are videos intended to educate and inform and make you, the person who's thinking about getting a reverse mortgage, know what to look for, so that when you come across stupidity, which I can't help but call it stupidity, that the entire assertion of the reverse mortgage being bad has to do with who's the spokesperson? Are you kidding me? How ridiculous and absurd is this? That's what I'm concerned about. And, to a certain way, it's almost insulting to me because of the fact that if you consider, when you have a medical problem, God forbid, okay, you don't go to your barber and say, hey, Johnny, this heart murmur that I have, what do you think I should do about it? And Johnny puts you on the chair and starts doing a diagnosis. I don't go to my mechanic and have him give me financial and retirement advice about what I should do about my investments. I don't have my gardener giving me real estate advice because he sees more homes on a daily basis than I walk into, and I say, oh, you know what? That's right. He's brilliant. I should be doing this with my real estate portfolio. What I'm pointing out to you is that the ridiculousness and the obviousness of something that I think is almost lost, because anybody who seems to put up a video and seems to call themselves an expert seems to be viewed and perceived as an expert. But if you look at their own channel and you read the description, if you are educated, if you're licensed, shouldn't that reflect in your channel? If you're giving real estate financial advice and you're giving retirement advice, and you are supposedly someone who's written even books on the topic that you say are you're a best-selling author, why don't I see any of your educational degrees? Why don't I see any of your licensing pedigree? Why don't I have anything on there reflecting why I should account on what you're saying, other than the fact that you're saying, hey, look at me, I'm so good, I'm so smart, and you should listen to me as the gospel. I know that I sound resentful and upset. That's because I am. And I don't want to hide it and apologize for it, because I know what I do is important and relative to the value that seniors need to consider in being able to access a portion of their housing wealth. A video that I did last week talked about the interest rate charges going up by the Fed and having a direct effect on credit card companies, using that as an excuse to charge 30% on their credit card rates. And now if you think about seniors that are on a fixed monthly income having to use their credit cards to supplement their fixed monthly income to get by, suddenly you understand that 30% on a credit card with a balance of $6,000, $7,000, $10,000 could relate to this person, the senior, having to just pay $300 a month on a revolving basis because they don't have enough money in their reserves and they don't have enough money to access with their fixed monthly income to make do for what you and I, if we're working, be able to get by. And because of them watching some YouTube expert who has no business talking about reverse mortgages, not because I say so, because they're not licensed to do so, and putting their 2 cents worth about what an objectively bad product it is, that senior could be persuaded in the wrong way, where they're thinking, I'm in this echo chamber where 9 out of 10 videos by 9 out of 10 people that I'm watching are saying videos about reverse mortgages are awful and we're right. And that person may take that as the gospel. And I understand that I seem to be biased because this is what I do, but I'm also very passionate about it. I'm licensed to do so. And it's not about me being passionate and me being licensed. The fact that I can point to the data by the National Reverse Mortgage Lenders Association, who gets their data by FHA, that 64,000 seniors in the year 2022 have elected to get a reverse mortgage, tells you something. There's a need, there's a demand. The fact that I know that the numbers for next year are going to be over $1 million tells me that there's a need, there's a demand for this product and for seniors who need this. And if some guy who's misinformed, uneducated, and his entire bias on the program has to do with what his perceived beliefs are, spewing misinformation, somebody who really does need this is going to dismiss the opportunity of getting the product. So I wanted to take the time out in this video, and I will probably have to do a series of educational videos about who you should take. I mean, you understand how absurd my examples were that I just gave, about your barber trying to diagnose what your heart murmur is, about your gardener determining what your real estate portfolio should be, about your mechanic making sure that your future investments are going to be sound according to him rather than him doing a tune-up for your car. But this is how ridiculous and absurd it is when I see people talking about reverse mortgages who've got no business. And next week, it'll be about something else. So I ask you, I plead with you, you don't have to listen to what I have to say, but there's so much good information. There's so much information that's correct in the last 10 years on this topic. There's white papers done. There's research that is done, not only by financial advisors, but by economists, that you can rely on and have that be the basis of your determination. So I hope you understand the purpose and intent of this video. And if you walk away from it and understanding that YouTube is like the Wild West, anybody can say anything and it'll be uploaded and thousands of people will watch it. And maybe some of them that already have a negative impression because of what this program used to be 15, 20 years ago, that's where it will end. But the need for this product right now, based on everything that we see, based on the income and the economics of what we're going into the year 2023, is more important than any other time. And if you're watching this and you understand this, then I hope when you watch these other videos that speak poorly about this program, that's not the end of your discovery. That becomes one more thing that you just kind of have to go by in order to find the right information. The information is out there. And if it wasn't, I wouldn't be doing the business that I'm doing and helping the people that I'm helping. So I thank you for watching this. I'm sorry that the tone of this video has to be a little bit more harsh and abrupt, but the importance of it requires seriousness. The importance of what I do requires that it be severe, and that, you know, these people that have no interest in helping seniors under the guise that they do, but are only interested in getting views, be disregarded. And that's that. I'll see you in my next video. I thank you for watching. I thank you for being my client. God bless you. I hope that you take this information and you take it to the next level and do your own independent research to discover what the benefits and features of this program are. If you have any questions or if I can help out, please reach out to me. Otherwise, I thank you for your time, and God bless you. Bye-bye.